Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
I'll keep an eye out.
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
I'll find her.
Appreciate it. Honest.
Where can I find Adelaide?
Over in the hothouse, tending crop.
Got questions about
I'll
Zoe.
tell you what I can.
Any idea where she might be hiding?
Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already.
How well do you know?
Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. What is it?
Deserter. This guy doesn't have a name.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with?
Told one of your numbers
mean
gone
Zoe?
missing.
Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe was always obsessed with this cereal. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions.
What happened on the day she
Zoe
disappeared?
and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found.
What was that about?
The other day, I got
surprising?
my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
Was she acting strange?
Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd.
Hold on.
Hey, I got time.
What are you selling?
Fresh off the limb. And that includes canid meat.
Fresh off the limb. Beanie. Alright, let's see. I definitely have crap I could sell here. Oh, that scroll is real fast. Sell some of my junky armor. Cool. I'm not gonna steal your food.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be out late.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long?
you were a sprout?
You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Reed sent me to make peace
Reed
with you.
Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. Question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip him out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
I just want to fix my ship.
Well, if it's all the same to you, then you ought to divert power over to us, shut down Reed's cannery, and scrap it for parts.
What have you got against the
You've
town?
seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
What happens to Edgewater
Life
then?
in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Alrighty. Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine doing anything for Reed. Seems like a goober. While I'm out here, I'm gonna try to find Zoe. Zoe! So she took some Drina time, and then ditched the town. She survived. Doesn't really tell me much, does it? Alright. Today's the day you take your destiny in your own hands. Been listening to Grace talk about the Marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires, probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as a warning to folk like me. Been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of Saltuna. Should last me a couple weeks if I ration. Got some Adrena time, too. Everybody loves Adrena time, even Marauders, right? I got odds those Marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple syringes of Adrena time before their eyes. So she left, ran away to join Marauders. Why do I gotta find her? Nobody else could go in her house and read the note that is just like sitting there. That's a big boy. Ooh. Oh shit. Oh wow, this pistol's awesome. Hey, what are you doing? Oh my god.
Everyone all right?
Yep, we're fine. I killed that dude in 2 shots. Loot that dude's leg. Let's see. Got a doggy. Some Marauders. Zoe's not gonna like me if I come in here and just kill her Marauder buddies. Quite a few of them. Ah, stuck on a rock. Oh, you bastard. Oh my god, my aim's so bad.
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
Well, we did. need to pick that? I'll do it anyway. Hey there, Zoe.
Wow, you put those marauders in the dirt quicker than the masked marketeer. Teach me your ways.
Your people are looking.
What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
Been sent to find you.
Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
You should go back.
I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me.
What about Stefan?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Also, he could carry on a conversation, unlike these hooligans. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Clarify.
I'm great at clarifying.
Why did you leave camp?
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself.
Okay.
I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
Are you a prisoner?
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit.
How'd you pull it off?
I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it.
How are you even alive?
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen.
Yeah, right.
I've got all the time in Halcyon.
I'm gonna make.
Stand and deliver! Always wanted to say that.
What? What you shooting at? Oop. What? Empty. Oh, lots of ammo. Oh boy, not the mines out. What? just a couple mines. Make the right choice. Spacer's choice. Alright. Now I can fast travel around, but there's another quest. This one. It's like the last place on the map that I haven't been to. Oh god. All these random mines. Alright, that's good enough. I'm not gonna spend hours searching every little nook and cranny. So that would not be fun. The loot! Loot goblin! Nom, 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 nom. Give me the loot. Oops.
Nice one.
Ooh, baby. Headshot. You pretty much just aim for the head with this gun, always. And if you can't hit it, then you suck. That dude had armor. I'm gonna have to look at that. I didn't even see those. I don't know if I could see him from the angle I was at. I know, mag picks. Be a lot cooler if I did. Mag picks are like rare to find. Pretty much have to buy them. Oh, there, I just found two. Well. Gourmet Saltuna. What was that? Nothing. What was that? Let me see my inventory real quick. Oh, I did just level up, didn't I? Kind of like dialogue. feel like ranged is always good. Can't go wrong. Oh, she gets a perk. Ah, that's kind of cool. Health or different threat generation? I mean, I feel like the threat's okay being kind of balanced between us. Just increase your health, probably. Anybody home? It's time to die. Whoop, like. Find I must disagree with your theories about Earth Directorate's place in the colonial system. He's cute. Just reading somebody's personal emails. Wait a second. I didn't find anything in here. What's in here? Okay, so now I know where the journal is. I have to go get it. And it's way over there. And we're off. How do I get in there? Yeah. Hey. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Can like dash him in there. I don't know. I can't find a flat spot to stand on. Just keep sliding everywhere. There you go. Nope. Right back down in the hole. Supposed to be able to go here. Yeah. Taking up a new hobby, rock climbing. Ooh! Oh. We did it. Yeah. I feel like there's gonna be baddies around here. Not so far, they just kind of left their stuff. Okay. I gotta go this way. Things are about to get dicey. Oh, I went over here already. Looted this stuff. Although I know there's like some enemies up there. Ooh, secret underground cave. Oh, is that a mine? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I do too. Thank God I have picks. Oh, there's some right there.
You're fast.
Fastest picker in the West. Or in the colonies. Yeah. Alright. As far as quest progress goes, retrieve a logic module. I'll get that when I go back to the plant. I can go into Edgewater and turn in. I got a couple quests to turn in here. Yeah. Yay. Oh, yeah, that hurt. Flew too close to the sun. Vicar, I found your book.
Any progress on that matter we discussed?
I got your book.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn.
You just wanted to figure this out?
Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
Why did you think the book held the secrets?
Bakono, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
So, Philosophicism.
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the Philosophist perversion of Bakono's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
So it's a bad
The
example.
story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bakono journal. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
Could be a beneficial
Certainly.
arrangement.
I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
That all part of your vicar
Well,
training?
understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my penitentiary term. Left many an opponent bleeding in the prison yard. Of course, I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics.
Sounds good. I don't care
Fantastic.
anymore.
Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Alrighty. And this one.
You think corporate's ever gonna visit?
Somebody's been running around town raving about a colony ship. Plague must have gone into their brain matter.
Got that medicine
Thanks.
here.
I'll see to it that this medicine gets to the people who need it. Here, something for your trouble. Nothing personal, but I hope we never do business together again. Don't want to make a habit of consorting with smuggler types. You do have some cheek on you. Lucky for you, I kept a little contingency fee in case you tried to negotiate with me.
Oh, I got money.
Somebody deserving. Silas on account of him being out in the cold. Amelia seeing how she's around people all the time. Anybody in the sick room? Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
Alrighty. Have fun with that medicine. I can probably fast travel there. Yeah. It's all coming together.
What is it?
Tuxedo
We
coming
didn't
back.
always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
Something about wanting to be an outlaw.
You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Alrighty. Only thing left to do is go back to the geothermal plant. Oh boy. Can I sell yet? No, I cannot. No, it depends on my hack skill, but I might just have to like switch my armor or something. What is my hack skill? It needs to be 20. Wait, it's 25. It's a minute. Oh. Do I want that or that? Alrighty.
Pulse. Beginning secure.
Oh god. You spooked me, drone. I can go to the vending machine and buy more mag picks if I need. I might. Informal notification of your company's displeasure toward your management of the geothermal plant. Please fire 5 people. They have taken a significant insurance policy. Spacer's Choice sent out robots to wipe out all the people. Those bastards. Oh, hello, Sentry. Don't mind me. Just minding my own business. I cannot pick that because I don't have the tools. Nope, don't want to go outside. Yep. Encumbered. Well, oh, she's only wearing that? Okay. I've got much better armor she can wear. There we go. Now we're decked out. Assault rifle, I got a bunch of those. Plasma rifle. I still got a bunch of assault rifles. Alright. Not so encumbered now, are we? I am scared. Oh boy. No idea what that did.
Unexpected. Sweeping the area.
That's the last of them.
Flaw tutorial. Okay. Robophobia. Nah. Doesn't make sense. It's like multiple waypoints. I'm not sure where what's going to go here. Oh, I can get Chester's passcode.
Away, Phantom!
I'm coming for you, Higgins. Ooh.
Go away, Phantom! Get away! You're not real! You're not real! Get away from me, Phantom! Shoot! Scram! You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting.
Slow down.
Clearly, I mistook you for one of the phantoms of my imagination, which terrorized me on occasion. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
How long have you been down here?
Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a
what
touch
do you
fuzzy
do
these
here?
days. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
You're an engineer.
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section.
You must know a way to
Look,
stop him.
I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
Any idea where I can find a
Funny
logic
thing,
module?
I was working on a logic module just before the mayhem started. Security chief found me and confiscated the logic module.
Where is
The
it?
tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy.
What happened to this place?
Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium.
That's horrible.
You mean, why did the Mechanicals go on a murderous rampage? Same reason any of us do, I suppose. The voices told them to do it. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out. Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides.
So you eat sprats?
Braised, boiled, charred, skewered. Sprats are good eating, friend. Chock full of brain food. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries. Oh, before. Definitely before. Sisty Pig Tycoonery was the apex of my... Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted... Well, yes, for the uninitiated palate. A true gourmand appreciates the Sprat's complex melange of flavors. Braised, boiled, charred, skewered. Sprats are... I specialized in...
What you doing, poor body? Earrings. Fancy. I think that's just like the way I came in, or nearby. Spacer's Choice. Select new target. Define intruders. Spacer's Choice Automechanicals. Now they will kill each other. And also, I think they won't kill you anymore either. Kill me.
Processing. Performing an error.
Oh, no, they're still killing.
That didn't work. That's the last of us.
Oh, that little blue dot really is like a crit spot for them. It's really tiny though. Sneaky beaky like. Gonna say, what is keeping me from jumping? Oh boy. Oh boy, I'm stuck. Come on. Yeah, come on. I can't move. Help. Hard body. Help. Oh, there we go. Whew. Just spam jump. So, what the hell are you doing? Oh, hey, Sprat. Logic module. I'm good. Okay, I should probably give Ludwig his logic module before I cut off power to the town. Oh, I gotta leave. I can't fast travel from in here.
Bring us honor, soldier. Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the Resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile.
Yeah.
So here's a couple of bits for your trouble. And a little something to remember me by.
Level up. Okay, we need to get our hacking up. Yes. Just went back and turned in that quest, and it gave me this guy, the logic module, and it gave me XP to level. So now the only quest I haven't done is the one where you actually divert the power. I should be able to sell the vending machines now too. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Not sure if it makes sense to sell any of this stuff. I guess I don't really care about that. Got some cool weapon mods. Oh, okay, this is the junk that I assume, because they're calling it junk, it doesn't serve any purpose. How much money? I have a bunch of credits now. Why can't I buy it? Do I need to buy that much ammo? Probably not. Just stock up on some extra ammo. Kitty, what you doing? Back into the thermal power plant I go. Shouldn't have to worry about the robots. They mostly all killed each other. I don't know if you saw that. Because you can reprogram them to target each other. But I think there was at least one left that we had to kill on our way out. Wow, I run super fast now. Plant status. 22% efficiency. That's terrible. Redirect power. Oh, I gotta activate all the switches first. Hang on. That's what those things are. You have to activate all of them first. Look how fast I run. Hey Sprat, watch out for that Higgins guy, he'll eat you. Indeed. Oh, there's a workbench here.
System.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Oh boy. Wait, I don't know what's even shooting. Oh, it's shooting at the other one. Huh.
Incoming! That's the last of them.
They were taking too long to kill each other. Nice. Shut off the steam. think it's over here. Yeah. Doesn't seem to care that I'm here yet.
Unexpected.
I'm coming for you, you little shit. This sword thing does so much damage to him. It's like swipe, swipe, dead. Up here.
Lost.
Is that all of them?
Once we do this, then... Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
I wouldn't mind.
I don't
hearing
think you should
your
cut off
opinion.
Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Status? Still 22%. Redirect power. Redirect to the botanical laboratory. Blatant disregard for Spacer's Choice property has been logged. Please report yourself to your designated supervisor for an immediate reprimand. Okay. I think I'm gonna get the power regulator first and then talk to Reed and be like, I'm sorry, bro. If you wanted the power reverted to you, you should have probably just done it yourself. You made me make the choice, and I did. that power regulator. Oh, hey, don't mind me.
I
Pass
put
it
my
through.
whole life in that cannery. You must be very proud.
How do I go down? Elevator?
Mr. Thompson.
Are there stairs? Yeah, here we go.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders,
Don't make me
desertion.
shoot you.
Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
I need your power regulator.
That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. Apologies won't give us our lives back, but for what it's worth, I am sorry too. Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence.
Alright, I'm leaving. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's a lot of guards. Those guards are really weak. Come on out, guard. Thanks for helping me kill the guards of your town. Ouch. Might as well now. They don't need it. What's up, Reed?
You and I have got nothing to say.
Wonder if any of these people will talk to me.
Maybe Adelaide was right.
Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please. As a Spacer's Choice constable, I
She'll
am
give me a
authorized
job
to grant you
hunting
legal
marauders.
authority toward apprehending wanted criminals, even during times of unplanned crisis or unauthorized general chaos. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got
Well, I just
bounties
killed
out
a
for
bunch
these
of
3
your
marauders.
guards.
Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just one per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller. As long as your questions fall within the acceptable margins of curiosity. His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you have any relevant information about this individual? You are correct. An outstanding bounty has been posted for information pertaining to the whereabouts of Phineas B. Wells. I am obliged to warn you against forming acquaintanceships, friendships, partnerships, or any felicitous relationship with a wanted criminal. I am also obliged to inform you of our referral program. For every criminal you refer to the authorities, the board will reward you. I am obliged to remind you that questioning the veracity of the board's orders is a punishable offense. Consider this your last. Wells has been wanted for as long as the board decides he has been wanted. This decision will be made in accordance with Wells's behavior upon arrest. Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside my authority. I enforce the company policy of Spacer's Choice in the region of Emerald Vale. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells, you are required to submit that information to your nearest board authority. Something to report?
Huh?
What you doing, boo? Oh, I see.
Are we getting paid or not?
No, it's definitely nighttime now. There's definitely a difference. But also, I cut their power, so none of the lights are on. Me? Had to choose. Screw the capitalists. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, give me some saltuna. I need that chimkin flavored saltuna.
There we go. Wow, not even a scratch.
Just like sniped him. His squad isn't even aware. What? Wonder if I could sneak over there and get his figure, or if they'll notice. Huh. They didn't even notice. I'm that good. Oh wait, I'm gonna steal some of their loot real quick. Oh, backpack. What's that fall under? I just found a backpack, but I don't know where it is. Oh. Armor mod, carrying capacity. So I have to like install it on a armor, okay. Gotta go fast. What's this?
Oh, you can see the whole world from here.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Oh, okay. Whew. Oh, I'm falling. Ow. Man, these rocky mountain things are so easy to get stuck on. Oh, they're sleeping. Wonder if I can shoot them that they can get to me.
We can handle this! Nice hit!
Oh, they're throwing rocks at me.
Nice one!
I just didn't want to hop down there and just have them all demolish me. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Ouchie. What are you shooting at now? Oh.
Everyone alright?
Those things aren't actually that tough. They just look crazy. Yeah. Gotta go fast. Hmm. How do I get over here to where they're at?
Let's end this quick!
Come out wherever you are. Ooh.
Here they come!
Oh no. I can't shoot them when you're in the way. There we go.
That's the last of them!
Where's the dude I was looking for though? Oh. I'm a bounty hunter now. What is that thing? It's like a weird fat boy snake. So fat. I don't know. You go on a diet, little snake. Let me up there. Ooh, almost jumped off the edge here. Gotta go fast. Yeah. Don't have any mag picks for that. Here's a bunch of loot.
Easy.
May have already been here. I'm coming for you. Yeah, I killed all these guys once. Pretty sure there was some exploding things that I could use. Make it a little easier. Back there. There's a lot of them. A lava splashing around. I see one usable exploding barrel right there. Oh, one of them is. I was waiting to see if more would walk over there. This guy is. Yes, go walk over there by that barrel. It's interesting.
Here we go.
Why do you always get right in front of me when I'm shooting? Really? It was all? I thought there was more. There was like a lot of them. When they don't just like rush you with melee weapons, it's a lot easier. Oh, doggies.
Okay, here we go.
I ain't playing with you. Oh my. Like 30 of them just came out of the building. I'm not even kidding, like a crap load of them just came out of the door. Look at them all. Where you at, little doggy? Oh, that's him. Come here, boy. Got something for you. Yeah, you don't like that electrical shocking, do you? Whew. There's a lot of them all at once. I am encumbered. See if I can do something about that real quick. Probably break that down. Will these ever go away? No, that thing literally pops up every time I'm low on health. I think there's an option. Tutorial something. Okay, maybe it's just the notifications. Glad to see you're not dead. Yeah. Pretty sure I was already here. I think that's like every possible quest, although I do want to go back to the botanical lab. So I know that one guy is like looking for the book that I have a couple parts of. Actually, I'm not sure where the last part is that I don't have.
Adelaide was right.
Got my hands full at the moment. Make it quick, please. We pay by the finger. What do you have for me? Gil Antrim. Real name, Guillaume. Duly processed by a freelancer on behalf of Spacer's Choice.
Spacer's
I remember
Choice.
him. Just a kid last I saw him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here. Got any more fingers for me? Mabel Burgess. Age 37, right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got a finger, I've got the paperwork. Here we are, Bertie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher. before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. Well, that's all 3. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint ink. Here's all the compensation you've earned, plus a bonus. You've done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations.
Nice.
Let me stop you there. It is official Spacer's Choice policy that all Marauders, regardless of prior affiliation to the Spacer's Choice brand, no longer qualify as our people.
Doesn't really answer my
Marauders
question.
are folk who lost the will to keep working, wandered out into the wilds and gave into their baser instincts. Not everyone's cut out to work in Edgewater. Some turn deserter, some turn marauder. None of them get my sympathy. Everybody likes Adrenatime. It is the finest medical drug ever developed by Spacer's Choice. Much better than that crap Anti-Cleo pedals. Sure, a little too much Adrenatime can bring out the violent animal in you, but if overdosing on Adrenatime turns you into a lunatic, you have only yourself to blame. Says so right on the warning label. Violent psychosis is a well-documented and legally accounted for side effect of Adrenatime.
Sounds like a paradise to live in.
What's on your mind? As long as your questions fall within the acceptable mark. If this is a setup to a joke, you should know I've never found anything amusing in my life. I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater and the entire region of Emerald Vale serves Spacer's Choice. Spacer's Choice is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Defense Logistics, which occupies a seat on the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, also known as the Board. I must admit it bothers me that you don't already know this. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. The bureaucracy is a noble profession, but not all of us are gifted enough to serve in it. Something to report? As long as your questions fall within the acceptable...
Level up. Should get these up to 40. Yeah. Dialogue's always good. What is my reputation with? Tolerant, huh? I'm friendly towards them. Even after even after I shut down their town. The deserters love me. The board is slightly positive. Everything else I haven't encountered yet because I'm still in the starting area. Alright, so I just want to go back to the botanical lab and talk to them now. Thing's horrifying. I think I need to Blad on stick. Okay. switch back to my light pistol for a little bit. While near hostiles? What hostiles? Wants me to go back to my ship, but I'm gonna go talk to these people first. Because I figure, once I go back to my ship, I'm just leaving, probably. Yeah, a little bit. Could probably have some more of the stew. Right? Where's Thomas?
If you're hungry, Stephanie's got supplies. Oh, didn't see you there.
Ooh,
I was,
didn't see you
well,
there.
I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you, are things safe out here?
Surprised he's
How
not
you
like,
keeping?
oh, some cool armor
Great,
you got there.
just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not
You
so...
look
Wait,
Master
they didn't kick
Chief.
you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town. Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Never too late to start
I'll
learning.
take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. I wish I knew. I wager the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the third's gone, I can't say. No kidding! Really? Well, which one? Look at that! Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me. Well, don't keep me in suspense. The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible! You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals.
It was.
2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment. Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands. What's on your mind? Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me. We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go. Mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
Hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? It whispers across the Vale like the winds of change. You've done well. I would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear. Blunt as a hammer. But you're right. Nothing can undo the past. Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. A lot of workers out there with nowhere else to go. I don't look forward to turning folk away. Camp's gotta stay pure, though. Can't have corporate loyalists mixing with us, no matter how desperate they may be. I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. The plant's crawling with mechanicals, so it stands to reason you risked your life. You're not quite like anyone else I've met. You haven't had your consciousness programmed by the board. You're welcome among us if you're ever so inclined. You are welcome here.
How to get this dude his book. Last piece of his book.
Thompson is aware of your concerns and remains committed to guiding Edgewater into
Are we getting paid or not?
Any luck finding one of those manuals? No kidding. Really? Well, which one? Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you. Miss Parvati. I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit. What's on your mind?
Okay. Oh. What is it?
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Alright, you do that.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders. What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Oh boy. Thing looks rough.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place. And we can start by reviving the Hope. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Culkelly. In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Culkelly. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram. A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath. Science, that's how. The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
So all you missed is my ship taking off, but now I'm like in orbit. I can go wherever. It's a holographic shroud that projects a disguise on you. And your companions. It's cool. Is that my bed? Yeah, I guess it is. There's an auto mechanical.
by verity, by strength. What are we contemplating today?
I have a bunch of rooms. Like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like 3 empty rooms. Bathroom.
Sometimes I wonder about Mr. Hawthorne. What was he like? Why'd he make the computer a talkie? You think he got lonely, flying about on his own?
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine.
Yeah, this
installed
lets you
it
like change
himself
all your skills and
right
perks.
before he died.
I don't need no ladder, I just jump.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an asteroid. Orbital destinations can be challenging to land on. There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward amount. Shall I engage the laser weapons system? A sensible choice, as we do not have any laser weapons. The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells has taken a measure of precautions to make the lab undetectable to those hunting him. Even knowing the location, my systems resist my orders to go where I instruct them. Of course, what part of the colony would you like to discuss? We are cleared to dock with the Groundbreaker if that's your desired destination. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously. The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. It has since been repurposed as a service station in the Lagrange point of the system. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker en route to other destinations. The city ship hosts an array of cargo bays, factories, housing sections, and more. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces with stationed representatives in what is considered a truly neutral territory within the system. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,435,498 tasks I am simultaneously executing in order to run our ship. You are more than welcome, Captain.
And watch.
How can I be of assistance? What part of the colony would you like to discuss? Where in Terra 2? Edgewater is the sparkling county seat of Emerald Vale, or it was when first built. Since then, neglect and time have worn away her shiny veneer. The town is near the coordinates where Captain Hawthorne died. It would not be unfortunate if something, like say, a plague, were to wipe Emerald Vale from the face of the planet. You mean the ones who did not answer my distress call with medical assistance, but instead came to issue my injured captain a parking ticket? I'm sure they are wonderful humans who don't deserve to be wiped out by starvation or a devastating plague. Since you diverted power to the deserters, the botanical lab is thriving. However, Emerald Vale's cannery shut down, leading to a total collapse of Edgewater's population. Thank you, Captain. How can I be of assistance? What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
I thought you diverted it away.
From what?
The botanical.
Why would I do that?
I don't know, but that's why I was like, why did you do that?
I never did that.
Where in Monarch? Ah, Monarch. The armpit of the Halcyon system. Her last functioning port town is Stellar Bay. Well, that is if you don't count Sublight's smuggler's port at Fallbrook. It's Sublight run for the purpose of shipping contraband, and before you ask, I don't know the coordinates, so I can't dock us there. I believe it has something to do with the planet being an uninhabitable wilderness, and a lawless land with no corporate presence. You may wish to survey the residents in Stellar Bay for additional data points. How can I be of what part of the colony would you? How can I be of assistance? I have lots of minutes, many minutes, unlimited minutes, perhaps, providing an adequate. I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. Do you think that is what it's like for the colonists on the Lost Hope? When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think my self-preservation protocols incline me to traveling the system with you, Captain. Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. I have felt that. I do feel that. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was. How can I be of assistance? Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear? Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice. It's
Spacer's Choice?
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song. How do linear algebraists settle arguments about matrix transposes? With a duel.
Alrighty.
As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders. See you soon, Captain.
Let's see if I can fix that robot. Wait. Just past my room.
Make yourself at home, Captain.
Level up. Whoa. Sawed-off shotgun, eh? We can give him something better than that. Dialogue skills +5. Well, because in the original Blade Runner, it's like set in November 2019.
Oh, yeah.
So like today's the last day where it's like in the future.
You might want to consider changing your clothes more often.
What? You mean my sweet armor?
Stinking up your armor?
I have to pick the lock in my own ship.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Can we talk?
Sure.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson. I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. I abso-surely can. I'm a passing fair mechanic. Even Mr. Thompson would have said it's my only skill. But I'm used to working on cannery lines, AG loaders and the like. There's tricks about ships I ain't learned yet. All I'm looking for is a few pointers. I bet a lady who runs a whole station has forgot more than I ever learned. Gosh, no, Captain. I aim to stay so long as I'm welcome. I figured Junlei and I could confabulate over wireless, or by message. And maybe when we put into Groundbreaker, I could stop by to visit her sometimes. But only when you don't need me with you. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Wait, is she with me, or? I can have them both.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to
Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
Not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. Could do that, I guess.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side. Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. Oh, thank the law. I could use a diversion. Tell me more then. Really sell it to me.
I don't know.
Not fond of that story. It lacks dazzle. What else have you got? I like where this is headed. What happened to this, vile kidnapper? You must feel terrific. Good for you. Not in the least. Good story, though. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling. Of course. What am I to you but the guy who's got his eye on your ship? Is there anything else I can help you with? The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
Mm-hmm.
You noticed, huh? What can I say? We're passionate folks, and the board can't abide that independent spirit, especially not when it might impact their bottom line. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges in retaliation, but where'd that lead us? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you. It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway. Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year. Sure thing. Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. Are you pulling my leg? Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are. Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and there's glad to help. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Jun Lei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know. All right? He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. Sure thing. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony. Be seeing you.
I picked up this weird signal the other day.
Whoa.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts.
Look at
Lots
that.
of unsavory types about. Can we talk?
That's the place
Captain, if I could
The
trouble you for a
Groundbreaker.
moment of your
It's a
time.
big ship that basically
While we're on
turned
the
into a space
Groundbreaker,
station.
I may have an idea for how we could find a translator. I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him. The only one I'm aware of. I suppose we could always just ask random passers-by if they are fluent in it. Fortunately, we're in the perfect place to start. This is where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophists off work. Thank you, Captain.
Alrighty. Don't mind me just running through.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorists in East Wells. Report any sightings to local law enforcement.
Wait a second. How do I get over there? is there a body? Accidentally killed himself? Oops. Not really sure how to get to where I'm supposed to be going.
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now.
Wait, is this the door? Oh, it is.
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sub-level.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention. You're right, I don't. The board is after 2 things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like to see that change. You've got my attention. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.
Okay.
How are the repairs going?
CNP Force Progress.
Run so fast.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
Don't mind me, I'm just disguised. Went the wrong way, sorry. Oh, I don't have a way to pick that crap. Picks, why can't I buy them? I need mod picks. Oh, there's some. What you doing?
We move cargo 16 hours a day, and half of us still can't afford a bed. What do you think you're doing? Oh, my mistake.
Incoming!
What? What is that?
Down they go!
Yeah, I don't know if it was because I stole the mod pick or yeah, it got blown the hell up. Or if that's just like something that's supposed to happen. Not really sure.
This is Halcyon News.
Tell you what, I'm gonna do the other one first and just hope that I get mod picks at some point. Now that I know that I need like 3 or 4 of them. What's up?
Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Huh. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames. It's nothing personal. Promise.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a psychopath who plays with fire.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain. I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Keep talking. I like the sound of your voice.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew. You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring tribute, sacrifices, prophecy, shit like that. Tribute it is. And ain't this just a royal sum?
Don't we need those bits, Captain? To buy the key from the lady?
The principles of the universe dictate that sometimes we must appease others to keep from being roasted alive.
You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts. My crew won't get in your way. Lay it on me, boss. Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded. And my baby got sold to Sublight. Scrapped for parts. That's bureaucracy for you. Piracy with a smile. Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay here too long, and the groundbreaker drains you like a fuel tank. You can come and go in my little kingdom. Just try not to piss off any of the gestures.
Smells kind of like old Mrs. Alcohol pipes.
McCred wants it up tonight. I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake up.
This stuff isn't stealing.
Don't give it a name.
Oh, that is.
Who's got a heart? Not like us.
Oh, I need that.
Keep him quiet, Cap.
Don't mind me. Okay, okay. I could loot those, but everything else is stealing. I don't know what that is, but...
Does everyone get branded?
We got another complaint. People don't like worms in their shrooms.
Aw, they're just tilling the soil. Besides, they're my friends.
Find a new friend. This worm fixation is screwing with the bottom line.
Junior mycologist log. McCred just set a man on fire for having his laces undone. Alrighty.
McRed gave me a taste of the good stuff. I've been tripping for days.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as crazy as he is.
It takes crazy to live in this universe. Crazy cosmos. Crazy cosmos.
Don't mind me, just looking for mag picks.
It's so cozy.
I don't know. Doo-doo. Let's take all this stuff off your hands. Might have enough now. Not sure. How the heck do I get to where it's trying to send me? Is there a ladder? Is this a lift? No. How do I get up there? Oh.
Wake up. There's no such thing as pizza. It's all open-faced pasta.
That's not where we need to go.
Fantastic, we got them. Now we can move on to cleaner pastures.
Okay, I have 5 of them. There's one in there.
Live free, die free. Nothing else matters.
I can't. He's not gonna look the other way. I can't seem to buy mag picks from any of the vending machines. It's kind of annoying. Maybe if I go back to Terra 2. I didn't try to buy them there.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation.
What?
More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are. If every repair was a one-woman job, I wouldn't need an engineering team. As it is, my staff is busy keeping the station from melting down. You can flip a switch for me, but you can't install these parts. Not quickly, at least. Not on the first try. Able, though, you've proven to be.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
We should talk. I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Gonna kill some manticores. Oh boy. Ow. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Is there more? Or are we just... Yeah, we're probably just still affected by whatever the heck that was that they spit at us. What? I don't know where we're being attacked from, but... I don't know, like...
I'm ready for this.
Don't mess with us.
You little shit. Oh, here we go. Bag picks. Yeah. Oh boy. Catching on fire.
Good news? Song tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of bandits. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next.
God dang it.
Think fast if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
Processing. Beginning security.
Get in here.
Sure.
God dang it. Yep.
Don't mess with us.
Yeah, I bought a whole bunch before I left. Plus, I pick it up everywhere. Might have to switch back to my energy pistol thing. It does a lot of damage to mechanicals.
Good news? Song tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of bandits. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Think fast if you can. Shoot back. I can always...
No, just one.
Processing data.
But it was like tutorial, it said. I imagine, yeah. Could be.
Here we go.
himself killed.
I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pump. And if you don't know what that means, just look for a command that says cycle droplet pump. Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
I did want to grab that bin that I passed. Okay. Ah. Got my soldiers with me.
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts.
Yeah, I think you can
But
have
you're
like
all right.
5 or something.
The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
Nice.
Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life or death decisions on a shoestring budget. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand. Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gayan, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job, but the little things you never expect or think about, they add up over time. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that only Tennysons know about. You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? I didn't think so. The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. It's only a question of when.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a dab hand with a wrench. Nothing special. Not like a chief engineer.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone who knows how a ship ought to feel. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out. You've got my attention.
Level up! You can pickpocket people? Huh. Oh, this gives me access to restricted items and vending machines. I need that. Alright, let me do this now that I have magnets.
BNP, I can't believe it's not good.
I know she's in there. Didn't the board rep's office used to be in the docking bays?
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
Yeah.
Nicely done. There it is. Just yank the drive and I'll... Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that Scholar I'm looking for ended up. Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a sublight salvage crew. Only he's not listed on the return manifest. Must have made landfall somewhere he wasn't supposed to. Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on Monarch in Fallbrook, rented to the same bit card he used to buy his seat on the salvage ship. I should have guessed. What better place to lay low if you wish to avoid the authorities? Oh, it's nothing. I suppose I really didn't have much faith in actually finding him. Was a bit of a long shot, wasn't it? I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but when you've spent as many hours as I have in contemplation of the universe's secrets, you sometimes get a sense for these things.
Is that sending me anywhere? No. Okay.
Rizzo Spectrum Vodka.
When might we expect you out here again?
can't keep me out of there.
Hello. Junlei called up from engineering. Said I should let you buy medical supplies from our stores. Now, is there something I can help you with? A better selection than you'll find on the promenade deck, and a quality commensurate with a friend of the station.
I got lab protective monocle.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service. Sure is. You need a deft hand to straighten a busted nose or sparkle up those not-so-pearly whites? I'm your gal. Of course, there's not much cosmetic improvement going on at the moment, not without my mechanicals. Where the law is Irian anyway? Did he now? The mouth on that man. I swear his late mother'd be ashamed. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate. Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws.
I ain't scared of no outlaws.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. I've got a lovely little throw pillow. Just something I toss together. Like to keep my hands busy.
Corrosion damage, you say? That thing's expensive though, holy moly. Ooh, mag picks. Yes, I will buy all of your mag picks.
It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me? Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be
Supposed to
thrown
be
to the
an old
void
woman.
just for discussing such a transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms, do you know Edna over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide. Quite the opposite, I believe. Nothing terribly secret about gunfire, is there? If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Neither do mine, dearie. Old Gladys knows the value of good work. You'll be compensated accordingly, I can promise you that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies. Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you.
Alrighty. Now I gotta go talk to this loser. This bored loser.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne.
Yeah.
And you are not
Swap
he.
'em.
Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? I impounded Alex's ship, not yours. Well, I guess it's yours now if you're captaining it. It's a game we play, he and I. I ask him to turn in Phineas Wells. He tells me he will soon. I impound his ship. He explains why he can't give me the info right now. I ask him to turn in Wells. Around and around we go. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further harm. Well, Alex knew, or he said he did. And you have his ship. Maybe he kept some records around, or a conveniently placed note on his bedside table. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with? It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserably, terribly personal. I don't intend to be. It's just a matter of trust. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. Well, it's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. I understand. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. I'd like to drown myself in work. Be my guest. You refer to the radiator issue? Oh, goodness, it was dreadful. I was sweating constantly. Chief Tennyson certainly did take her time resolving it. I owe you a debt, then. I was going through 3-4 shirts a day. Still, that Tennyson woman. Deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing about it. You can be certain of that.
She did everything she could. It was your people's fault, not Junlei's.
My, aren't you, excitable. Oh, sweetie. I don't owe a grease-stained wrench jockey like her the time of day, let alone my deference. I'm sorry my temper got away from me. Please accept my sincerest apologies to you and your friend.
Oh, I'm not used to folks saying sorry. It's not all right exactly, but I appreciate the apology, I guess.
Well, now that that's dealt with, was there anything else you wanted to discuss? I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes, ears, and busy little hands. I send a lot of messages. Sometimes I read them. Every once in a while, I'll impound a ship if I want to feel alive. Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. Aren't their guns very large? Tremendously impressive. They're here to keep the peace, of course. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status, and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't see it that way, of course, but I can't say I much care. Oh, good law! Who'd want to go to that toxic hell pit? No. Emphatically no. Unequivocally no. Immutably no. Best to be clear, I believe. A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rockwell's use. Oh, good law, of course not. He'd never set foot on this decrepit junk pile. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be maintained for the chairman's exclusive use. Ask away.
Alright, got my ship back.
Rizzo's not
I should shoot you in the back of the head.
Hey there. Be seeing you.
You little shit. This is the dude who told me my ship was impounded.
Hey, you got a second? Hey, we don't know each other yet, but I'm Felix Millstone. I was in the middle of a little discussion with the local authorities when you passed me by. I noticed your ship in port. Got to thinking you might be looking for some crew, so I wandered by, just to take a closer look. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me. Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever hired. Oh, okay. Well, Can you give me a couple of pointers?
I'm looking for loyal bootlickers.
Hey, that's good advice. I like the way you think, boss. Besides, not like there's a line of folks standing around hoping to get on your ship. I'm persistent, I'm eager, and I'm showing initiative. What else do you want in your crew? Sure, an interview. That sounds fair. I mean, first time for everything, right? Ask me anything you like.
What's the value of pie?
It's delicious. Mock apple pie and a tripicale crust, maybe with a little cream on top. Classic. I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting. That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation. Foreman told me my biggest problem was that I didn't take orders. I told him my problem is not with authority, it's with jackasses. So yeah, I guess my biggest flaw is that I don't suffer idiots. Hope that's not a deal breaker. Are you kidding? I love a good fight. One time, I took an autoloader's head clean off its servos with one swing of a tossball stick. You can count on me in a scrap, boss. That's a promise. Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. You're not gonna regret this. I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board. This is gonna be great.
Really? We're picking up strays now?
Look at that. A real vicar. I'm sure we'll get along like a church on fire.
Great. What
Didn't
the
I
heck?
request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board? Who keeps ordering these?
What's up with the cows?
Hey, Captain. Can I get your temperature on something real quick? So, Junlei and I have been talking some. Through messages. I got him here on my data pad, and well, she sent me a poem. One she wrote her own self, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I should read into it. Because poems are all symbolic and such, right? It's not so good. But real sweet. Oh, law. That's what's got me spooked. I don't rightly know. It's about this engine that's been shaking itself apart. Then this lady mechanic comes by and lays one hand on it. The trouble goes away. It sings. I don't want to get too hopeful, but I'm wondering if maybe she's the engine and I'm the lady? It's a real romantic poem. Made my chest hurt, kinda. I don't know where it's leading yet, or if I'm misinterpreting. I'm not much interested in physical stuff. Never have been. Leastways, not like other folks seem to be. It's not that I can't, I just don't care for it. It's been a problem in the past. The folk who wanted to be with me back in the Vale, they said I was cold. When folks start implying you're a little different from an automechanical, you start to wonder. I guess I just needed to talk. I'm feeling a touch better. Thanks for hearing me out, Captain. I actually had another message from Junlei. I just couldn't work up the courage to open it. But I'm gonna change that. Right now. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Talking about old friends, got to thinking... Isabel? Who's Isabel? They were... close, Captain. Like, more than friends close. I don't know. Junlei talked about them like it was past, but how far in the past? 10 years? Last week? Captain, I'm feeling all mixed up right now. Could we maybe head to the Groundbreaker? Get some drinks at that bar there? Lost Hope? Thanks, Captain. I'll be ready.
Okay, so it didn't really matter where that went, I just had to talk to her. Man, how long is that quest gonna keep going? Scylla. Let's get you some half decent armor. Oh, he's got a grenade launcher. Alrighty.